I'm Vanessa Stone. Hello. I used to make textiles and I used to sew lots of them, and I used to construct them with lots of layers. But the thing about textiles is that you can't actually get a clean line, which is what I realised, that actually what I was after is something that had lots of form, something that was very clean lined and actually was a balance between design and just accidents that kind of happen. And so I'd started cutting into material and making it as unmaterially as possible by using a stuff called Bondaweb. And then I just thought, this is daft, why don't I just actually cut into paper? So I took up my scalpel, actually a pair of scissors at that time, and cut out some faces and a big piece of paper. And that kind of was it, really. I just felt I'd found the thing that I was looking for, really. The white that I cut out is as important as the black, so it's very kind of yin and yang, and very pure. In that sense, it's very much to do with kind of Japanese design, and I wanted to capture that in a medium, and it was only this medium that kind of got it, because it cuts out every other detail. There's no texture that should have been there by mistake. It's kind of severe, and the actual paper cut is as severe as the blade. Oh, I love it up here, because it's kind of removed from everything. You can just hear, if you shut your eyes, you can just hear the sounds of the town, and it's high, so you get the air, the wind, because I really love that sound when you can hear it on your ears. And it's just a place apart, really, somewhere where I can do a bit of thinking time. And also it's a bit dangerous as well, because of course you look over the edge and think about your own mortality and what it would be like to fall over, and so it's a funny place. And I can look over there, and my house is just over there, it's not very far walk, so I get a real sense of where I live and just a sense of the place that's Letchworth, really. And I really love all the backs of these houses. I think that's more interesting than the fronts, really, because most of the fronts are like facades, but here it's like the bits that aren't tidied up, it's the bits that aren't tweaked, aren't painted up, and it's the most interesting bit, the most human bit, I think, really. I love standing here because you get such a 3D sense of the town, going off into kind of the suburbs and all of the Letchworth houses. These ones are much more traditional, of course, much more of, the original Garden City. The white of the buildings and the roofs, the terracotta and the green. It's a very distinct colour palette. It's really particularly Letchworth. I love the fact that when you look at buildings, somebody's designed them. Somebody's actually had the idea, has been trained, knows all about proportion and the stresses of a building, like the physics of it. And it becomes real. It goes from being a building on a piece of paper to being built. I can see the pictures I've made, and it's really lovely to have made them. It's like I'm talking to the architect. It's like they existed then, and we're doing their buildings, and then I'm existing now. And it's kind of like there's a dialogue. Through history, it's like two people talking, and that's really lovely. I love that. It's really exciting. It's lovely working out here. It's very peaceful. I mean, at the moment you can't hear much, but when the kids are out, they come and play. I love it when it rains. You just hear it on the roof. But I kind of can't bear to have anything between me and the work, really. It's strange. So I like working without my glasses on. It's then I'm not seeing kind of through a lens all the time. I don't like making things that people can't touch, really. That's what's... having to put the pictures in a frame is frustrating. I want to transfer the image. I need to put graphite on the back so that when I draw through, if I just do this roughly here, it leaves an imprint on the paper. There we go, just like that. On black paper, it leaves like a sheen. Used to be done with burnt umber. So these are the actual ground up stones, and that used to be rubbed onto paper like that. Oh, it's such a gorgeous colour. And then, exactly the same way, you would draw into a shape, and that would be transferred just like that, only usually onto plaster. I like listening to classical music. I like lots of early sacred music to listen to. It's very repetitive and very simple. And then when I've done a paper cut, I usually feel absolutely elated, so it has to be something really loud and kind of rock. like Led Zeppelin, because I've been so controlled making all this that to suddenly kind of let my hair down is lovely. When I've made a piece of art, I kind of work up to it, and I've made it, and then it's done. It's out in the world, and it exists, and it's kind of gone away from me. It's kind of like it starts existing on its own. I'd like them to get a sense of something that they've looked at that's beautiful, that's made and crafted, and a sense of place that they can connect with where they live and the pictures that I've made. I think a sense of place. And in that can be a sense of memory of what the buildings mean to them, and get a sense of the importance of something that's made by your hand. That's just that. Because everything we have these days is made by something electronic, and it's good to have something that's made, handmade, and unique and individual. So that's what I'd want people to do, inspire them to make their own things and make individual pieces of art. You can't make mistakes, and you just have to commit yourself. It's the best thing in the world, really.